Alright folks, welcome to this exciting video where you once again join me in the beautiful landscape of Scotland. And for today's adventure, I've got a couple of spare hours and I just thought I would come out for a wee explore. And we're having a proper heat wave, and I was kind of out for a wee spin at this kind of easterly side of Angus, and I pulled in here just to show you all this beautiful view looking over Montrose. And look, this field here is actually starting to flower. But yeah, what a crazy view of Montrose from the top of this hill. And it's definitely worth stopping here at the start of the video. And I was just thinking, where should I actually go? Kind of been having a wee spin about. The conditions is so warm. I've had the sunroof open and the weather in Scotland is no normally like this. And I've just been loving it. The tune's on, driving around, but I thought I want to go for a wee explore. And I just thought I might punch further up the coast here to the little area of Ousing, because there's a cool wee cottage at the side of the coast and that, and I've not been there for probably like 2 years or whatever on a video. And then we might head on to a few different locations in this video. It's kind of unplanned. That's what 2025 is all about, folks. It's just about having fun on this channel and having wee adventures. And what better place to start than up here on the hill with Montrose in the backdrop. So let's get into action and see where we end up. Yes folks, check this out. We've made it to an absolute paradise. Look at it, there's a wee horse and stuff chilling out over there eating a bale. Shout out to the blokes up here cutting the grass. This is always a really well kept area here at Ousing, and it's famous for the salmon fisheries. And I can actually see the wee fishing boat and stuff chilling out here as well in the water. I'm going to have a wee poke about and a wee explore here at the coast. And I'll make my way around towards the wee cottage, and then I think I'll probably go to another, I'll jump back in the car again and then go to another location. We'll just have a wee adventure today, exploring random things. And it's often mad the things you find along the way on these adventures. It's just spontaneous wee nuggets. And wow, this is like a Scottish postcard right here, folks. Look at the beautiful North Sea rolling in on a day like today, pretty calm and just, yeah, absolutely stunning. The way the rocks meet the sea on the edge of Scotland, it's just a special thing to see. It's always cool to explore. Yes, this is what I love, folks. It's amazing to see all the different seabirds and stuff. Oyster catcher looking things. And now look, we can see the view looking back into Ousing Bay. And the coast around here is just incredible. So different to what we've seen in like recent videos and stuff. Like the way the pebbles and stuff was in the bedrock at the last locations up north and that, it's totally different here. And this is more of a volcanic rock. At one time it's been flowing out of the ground. And it is interesting in Scotland, there's so much in different areas like that. I'm wanting to go and have a wee poke about as I make my way around to the rock pool, to the cottage. I'm going to have a look in some of the rock pools, see if there's any little animals or little fish and stuff kicking about. And sometimes each rock pool's got its own like unique character. And then I'm wanting to push over to the edge of the sea as well and see if I can look down into the depths of the blue waters of the North Sea. Wow, this is mad, folks. It's always like coming to a different planet. Because I was limited for time today, I thought it's so cool to come here and have a wee adventure. It's just beautiful. 22 degrees Celsius. And it's an absolute April heat wave in Scotland. Look at this, the way the lichen and stuff's on the rocks around here. It's all that white way and then the yellow. And normally when you see that, it's above the height of where the water like normally goes. When you go down to the lower rocks, it's all like washed from the sea hitting it. And then on the even lower down rocks, it's all covered in like barnacles and things like that. But on a day like today, when the sun's shining, it's so good coming here because you get so much grip. Basically this whole area here, you can just hop around and explore it, and it's just amazing fun. Sometimes you could go down here 10 times and you wouldn't walk the same route twice. There's so many wee like nooks and crannies, as they say in Scotland. Look at this, a piece of springtime colour at the coast. Sometimes those wee alpine plants really thrive at the coast, and you see so much colour just growing in such a rugged, harsh environment. Super interesting. Yeah, so I'm going to push over here now and try and get close up to some of these waves as they move their way up onto the stones here. It's crazy to see it. Each little area is totally different, the way the waves hit it, depending on how the rocks are. So it can make for an absolute madness if you just go to the right spot. Now look at this rock pool right here, folks. I don't know how well that comes out on the camera, the crystal clear water. But if you fell in there, you'd be up kind of at least to your shoulders probably. It's sometimes a bit of an illusion, like how deep these places are as well. Whoa, there's actually... Oh, I thought it was a fish. I think it's maybe a bit of seaweed. Oh, there is a little fish there darting about. Probably like, whoa. It maybe doesn't even come out on the camera. Whoa, it's like a little, tiny little beast swimming about. It's like another planet. When you look into the world of like the undersea world, it just like blows your mind. It's all creatures and animals that you just rarely see. And it's just like a whole other dimension. It's the underwater dimension, folks. Whoa, look at it this side. It's crazy, the peace and tranquility of the little rock pool there with the fish swimming about, and then at this side it's like boom, the churning North Sea, which has been on this rock in the last couple of seconds. Oh, it just shows there is some waves ripping in today. And then the wee cottage is just basically around there. Last time I was at that cottage, it was like my New Year's special, I think like 2 years ago. Like, it's crazy how fast time flies, because it doesn't even seem like that long ago. So another interesting thing with this rock underfoot, it's actually that volcanic type of rock, and it's actually got a green shade to it naturally. And you often see that green shade in certain places where it's been freshly broken off from the ferocious seas. Check this out here, folks. The cottage is right up here behind me, and I was just chilling out on this rock. But it's weird today because there's no waves and the sea's calm, and then it's like this. It's like it's totally surging. You wouldn't have said it was waves as such, because it just looks totally level, but then now and again, boom, these little side rock pools is getting filled up. Yeah, I was just enjoying just sitting there, and when those big waves started ripping in, I was trying to switch the camera on. Anyway, let's head on round, folks. I'm not going to bore you with looking at the waves and things like that. We're away to look at this wee historical wonder, which I have seen before on the channel, but it's crazy. Different times of year in Scotland, kind of how different the landscape can be. And it's like today, the heat's radiating out of these rocks. To come here in a t-shirt at this time of year, it's just so good, so refreshing. Check that out, folks, for a scene of history with the beautiful landscape of Scotland in front of it. And wow, an area like this is just paradise. Like, I can't describe to you the heat and the sun, it's just glorious. It's good for your health getting that sunshine, and in Scotland it's often few and far between some years, but this year it's been super good, and it's just amazing to see. And look, now we're standing within this little fishing bothy, which stands at the side of the wild North Sea on the edge of Scotland. Yes, we've made it round, folks. Whoa, it's amazing to be out of that direct sunshine for sure. And then to see that behind, whoa, there's a car wheel and stuff lying down there. I bet you there's been some mad seas viewed out of this window by the original occupants, or maybe fishermen and stuff would come in here to sort out their fishing nets and stuff. Imagine that back in the 1800s, and maybe times even earlier. There could have been more little buildings out here or around here, which has completely been taken away by the North Sea, because every year it's obviously wearing away and washing away earth. And when you do see history like what I explore on this channel, so close to the water, it lets you know how much land was originally there. Sometimes it's a bit of a castle or something, and it's mad because it's just like one wall and then nothing but water. And to us it just looks like it's all, the water's always been at that level, but from the history you can tell that it's not. Look, here's another species of springtime colour right here, folks. Wow, I can see spiders and stuff running up through the grass. All the beasts are out now, running about. This is the only bit of wall really for this little bothy, but it's always a cool spot. I love the landscape around here, and to come around, it's a good excuse for a walk on the video. Buildings and structures like this, they use the natural rock, probably quarried for the ground around here. It's that kind of volcanic bedrock, and it's really hard wearing. You often see sandstone buildings and they're just like eroded away with the weather, but this rock here is super rigid and strong, and the wild weather doesn't take its toll as much. The thing that's mad and it like washes out is the limestone mortar that they used to use. It's super fragile, and sometimes when it washes out, that's when the wall almost looks like a dry stone wall. Anyway, let's get a full parameter shot here of where I'm sitting. Oh, I can see wee butterflies and stuff chilling down here as well, fleeing about, probably getting all the pollen off those early plants. And then I can see way up to the lands of Bodden Lime Kiln. I actually did a YouTube short of that old abandoned harbour recently, and somebody was commenting saying, oh, you should look at the boats, which I have done on a previous video, but I'll have to go back again soon, maybe even in this episode, and have a look at the boats and stuff up that neck of the woods. It's pretty cool just doing a wee video when you don't have a plan as such. It's just like, hey, we adventure and have a look around. It's a bit more chilled out. I was only going to have one video this week because I was just busy and stuff last weekend, so it's cool to have this wee extra video. So I've just been chilling out there for a wee while, folks, but I'm just thinking we'll move on to the next location on the video now. This is a strange surface here. Look, it's totally level. It's almost like a pavement in the middle of the wildest of locations. But yeah, I was just thinking about heading like inland or whatever to another location now, or doing something different in this video. But I was just chilling here because look at the weather, folks. Because I've been to the coast quite a lot recently on videos, I've not recorded loads here today. I've just been more like hanging out at that little cottage and just enjoying the view and the cool breeze that's kind of coming down the way. Now we'll move on to the second little madness on this video, and who even knows where we're going to go. It's cool to kind of go inland and have a whole like variety of different places on the channel. All sorts of Scottish history hidden in mad lands, folks, you know how it is. We'll just see where the wind blows us, see what direction a wee spontaneous adventure takes us. Wow, now and again I see the waves breaking on the shore here, and it's just absolute paradise. Check this out, we've now moved to the next location in the video, folks, and we've moved away from the coast. For everybody that was sick of seeing the coast and the sea, it was a cool start to the video. Now we've come miles from the sea. It's actually an hour later, and I've basically I stopped at the wee town of Kirriemuir and stuff, and I made my way up Glen. We're at the foot of Glen. I thought we'd come to Backwater Dam, but there's just so many people out today down chilling at the wee beach area. I've kind of pulled into this random little bit. And look, they've planted loads of trees right around the shore of Backwater Dam. Yeah, this is an interesting little bit. There's like a little tarmac kind of area. I've never been down here in my life at this spot. I just kind of pulled the car in at a random area. I just thought I would update the video and show you we're now in the middle of these mad like hills, the mad glens, and we're at the shores of Backwater Dam, which is still at quite a low height. I've not been up here for ages since I documented like the wee abandoned farm and stuff at the top. Wow, this is amazing. I'm just thinking about hopping over and actually having a wee look, but I'm not sure what this has been. So I've hopped over the fence, folks. Look at this, it's just the paradise in Scotland. I don't know if it comes across in the video. All these wee nooks and crannies, wee areas to be explored. It's crazy to see all this planted as well. All the years I've been exploring, there's never been forests here in these lands, so there was like wee farms and crofts before the days of the Backwater Dam. And it's interesting to see there's some little nuggets of that left in the land. I've now got my trousers tucked into my socks because in the lands at this time of year you actually get mad ticks, which wasn't a thing like 5 or 6 years ago in Scotland. Once you come inland now, it's just totally crazy. Anyway, let's take a wee look over here. There's like a base for what must have been a building or who even knows what. I've never even noticed this in my life before. What is this here? Look, it's almost like a road. My car window's open, so I'm not actually wanting to just leave the car sitting in that location. But look, there's actually tar here. I've never noticed this, folks, and look, it's right in line with the road when you come down the hill. So I'm just thinking this here will be the original Glen Road from before the 1960s, because they would have re-diverted the road around there when they built the dam. So there's a piece of history just out of the blue. My spontaneous adventures, I always say it, you find the coolest things that's almost gone and forgotten from the land. And today it's no different. We've found an abandoned main road, And it's another part of this backwater dam history which I have recorded over the years, little nuggets, little bits that's almost gone and forgotten. And even the fact, or even the interesting thing with like the old school that's up on the hill behind backwater dam. Yeah, look, it's got all this lichen on the ground. It's quite crisp and crunchy on a day like this. The road just basically continues down in. You can see it heading into the water, and that's a historical detail like I never knew existed. And that's what I love about Scotland. It's like you just literally go for a walk, or even if you've been somewhere before, it's amazing the wee things that's just hidden, ready to be found. And I'm pretty sure like this will all be super overgrown in a few months. It's kind of that transitional period. It's the tail end of springtime. Oh yeah, this is cool. I'm waiting actually, because it's busy here and there's loads of folk, I'm going to head further up Glen I think, to another more secluded location. I quite like that on the channel, like going to wee places it's like nobody goes to. It's like hidden little corners of Scotland, and it's often the most beautiful scenery. And to see this, an abandoned road at the backwater dam, there's the current road there, and you can actually see how originally it would have come straight down that hill behind my car. Anyway folks, let's keep this adventure moving. That's what it's like when it's spontaneous. It's little historical nuggets one after the other, and I never even know what I'm about to see. I didn't even think I was away to see an abandoned road when I jumped that fence. Here we are folks, next spot on the adventure, and we've come to the Glen Highland Games Hawk. And I actually used to stay in Glen at the far side, so it's cool to come back here and have we adventure and explore. And we're actually in the shadow of Mount Blair, which is pretty cool. It keeps the temperature down for this wee adventure folks. And anyway, this is the River Isla, which flows down through Glen Isla. And I've not been down here for so long that I thought it's cool to stop as I make my way through the lands. It's been a cool wee road trip this today, just stopping at different places, going from the extreme lands at the coast to the wildest of remote glens. And the air's actually a wee bit cooler here and more bearable, so it's quite refreshing, but it's still warm nonetheless. This is beautiful folks, look at this. I actually came down as well because it looks like part of that forest at the other side of the river has actually been clear felled. I'll maybe take a wee walk down the edge of the river, but we'll start up here at the top, have a proper look, see how the River Isla's looking today. It's just mad coming to these wee places that's like hardly seen, hardly documented. Let's go down to the water's edge, the clear waters of the River Isla. The River Isla features quite a lot in my videos because it flows right down from these wild hills all the way down through Angus and past a lot of the wee places I explore. And this is a unique area here at Glen Isla, because this is where the Highland Games is held annually. So like once a year they have their wee Highland Games here, and sometimes royalty and stuff actually comes to visit. It has been known that the royal family come here to the Glen Isla Highland Games because it's just over the hill from other royal areas like Balmoral and Braemar and other cool places like that. Each area's got their own Highland Games, and this kind of hawk down here in the bottom of the hill has been designed for the Glen Isla Highland Games. Look at this, think I can stay dry walking on these stones folks, you never know. Oh, I might end up with a wet foot here, but that's part of the adventure. We're literally in the River Isla. So we've gone from the sea to the mountain river here. Wow, the hills is just incredible. If Mount Blair wasn't that high, I would still be in the sunshine because it's lighting up the other side of the glen. And that was actually where I used to stay, in one of those houses. I think it's actually blocked from the trees just now, you can't see it. But wow, this is cool. They've got a proper car park up there and steps coming down. But because there's a camper van and stuff up there, I've just pulled in at the gate down here. Yeah, often the River Isla can actually flood these lands and it gets super high and lethal. So to see it on a nice calm day like this, it's tranquil. Tranquil's the word. The Glen Isla Highland Games actually used to be held at a different field at the other side of the glen, further up. And over the years, obviously, they changed it. They changed the area. It maybe got to be more of like a bigger event or whatever. Yeah, this is so cool. It's just like a pebbly edge here, pebbly riverbank. That's the word I'm looking for. Check out, folks, that's the sign of springtime this week on the videos. The daffodils are out and they're flowering. And yeah, that's interesting to see that whole forest there in the centre. Half of it has been taken away, the other half remains standing. But it's amazing to see the landscape change over the years. Because obviously when I used to live across there, that would have been the full forest. Probably not even as big back then. Yeah, that's been a cool wee stop here, and to tell the story of the Highland Games Hawk, and to look at the River Isla, and you can actually see the land there has been made like a grandstand, and people sit all around. All the events occur on this level piece of grass, tossing the caber, tug of war, and all other sorts of Highland game activities, folks. You know how it is. Anyway, on to the next location. What a madness, it's so warm out here. That's how when I drove past I thought at least this time it'll be shaded down in the hollow. But yeah, let's move on to the next location. I'm not even sure where I'm going next, folks. Here we are, folks. Since the last clip I was over the other side of these hills here in Glen Isla, and now look where we are at the beautiful Drumore boathouse and little dam here. At one time this was a Victorian boathouse built in the mid 1800s. And there was actually a big mansion house near here as well in the lands at that time, and this obviously served it as a bit of a folly or a boathouse for probably leisure and fishing of the laird and lady of the estate, or the landowners of the era. And when I was thinking about this, I thought it's so cool to come back and actually see this today, because I've not been here for so long. I'm pretty sure it was like my 1,000 subscriber special the last time I came here, and here we are now, folks. We're just about at 20k these days, and it's crazy how big the channel's getting. And thanks to everybody that's clicked subscribe. I'm always out here in these adventures and just going random wee adventures, throwing the camera on. I never even know sometimes where I'm going to go, and sometimes I make a point of going to document a piece of history. Other times it's just a fun wee video exploring and seeing what I see. And it's cool often just exploring and never knowing what's round the corner. And in Scotland, little nuggets like this, little historical wonders that at one time was somebody's pride and joy, and then one day it just gets abandoned and forgotten. And the water's actually a little bit higher just now than what I've seen it previous times. Look, a slate's come off the roof as well. Yeah, that's the old doorstep down there. Oh look, some of the battens as well, or whatever's sitting down into the water. It gets more and more damaged, more and more decayed the more years that pass, and it is such a shame to see it when historical ruins and that just end up falling in back to like nature. I don't know what the word would be. Nature takes back over. Whoa, this is crazy. Look how clear the water is, crystal clear. Apart from I can see tyre and loads of debris. There's actually an old hook on the roof as well up there, a wee winch hook. I had never noticed that. That must have been so they could actually winch the wee boat up out of the water. See, that shows the kind of details. I've been here on previous videos and never even noticed that. Let's get it on video, folks. Look, here's the boat hooks. You would totally winch the boat up out of the water. Whoa, I'm sure there used to be like crawfish or whatever in here, fresh waterings, but I'm not seeing them today. There used to be hundreds of them. Yeah, look at that old pulley. And then this little view looking out over the water. Such a shame that that's been all broken. Sometimes these places get vandalised, and it is a shame when the history gets ruined. Just out of stupidity sometimes. This little area here would have had a wee door on it as well, because I can see the remains of the hinges. I don't really want to fall in, but you can kind of see it. And now we're around this side of Mount Blair. We're back in the sunshine at this location. It is actually the evening just now, and it's just about 6 PM, and it's still 20 degrees Celsius, so it's absolutely crazy. Look at that, the last remains of the wee door hinge. It's even had like the green and white paint on it at a certain time. Wow, folks, real adventures on the channel once again. Let's head up into the main building here, see what remains of this history. Each year, obviously, it's getting more and more abandoned and forgotten. This floor will fall in one day as well. It'll go with a clatter. There's so many birds been nesting on the roof. Oh, there's more plaster and stuff lying down off the wall. Yeah, I'm sure that's a lot worse than what it used to be there. The old chimney's still standing though. Yeah, this area here, there's definitely something falling down in. It's in such worse condition. And it used to be more obvious with the lines on the roof. This would have been partitioned at one time. And it would have been separate little rooms, and maybe even like a cloak room or a changing room if they were going out boating. Because if you think about it in that Victorian time period, think of what they were wearing for their garms. Big fancy outfits. And they probably had to change before they went out on the boat kicking about. And that's all man-made as well. I'm not sure if there was already like a natural kind of waterway here and then they had made it bigger, or I didn't ken the full story, but the height of the water just now is definitely man-made for sure. Some dams in Scotland were made from scratch like that, and other ones were just like existing waterways that were fine-tuned. Look at that as well, the metalwork under there, folks. Check that out, the fine detail of the metalwork. Almost gone and forgotten in this remote area. And it just shows in Scotland the different places you can explore, and it's not been too long in between driving to each place. I can see ducks and stuff landing. It's so mild. Yeah, it's such a variation from the wild mountain glens and the remote lands down to the coast. Each place you go, it's just sometimes nobody in sight, nobody for miles. There is more people on holiday this week because it's actually Easter week, but like the roads have been slightly busier, but a lot of the time you come to these spots, it's just peaceful. Nothing but the sounds of the birds chirping there away, and the sound of the water. Now and again there's folk coming along and they all look down, they'll just see me standing here vlogging and think, what is he even doing? Let's go down and have a look at this side of the wee house. It's a wee boat house, and it's mad the transition between this, the wee fishing bothy we saw at the start of the video. We've seen such a variation of things from all different eras and time periods and built for different reasons. Oh, look at that. I was looking to see if that was a tack on the top of that blade of grass, folks. You do get tacks. I think that's what that is right there. Look, people say to me there's no ticks. Look, there's two. That right there is two ticks, folks. I've probably got them on me. That's why I just mostly document the coast at this time of year. Can people say, oh, are you sure there's as many ticks as what you make out? Because I tell people, oh, aye, there's hundreds of ticks. You can literally just go for a walk and see loads of them. And then somebody was saying to me, that's just nonsense. But like, that proves it. Because I've hardly even walked anywhere, and there we go, I've seen them. But today, since I left the coastal location, most of these places I've visited have been high risk of tick. So that's it. That is it, folks. But it's cool to document that and just show you they are there. They are on the grass. And years ago, they weren't as potent. See, nowadays, like, Scotland has got a serious problem with that, and it's overrun. And it's almost like, since they stopped spraying the fields with pesticides and stuff like that, the wee pests have actually gotten out of control. Look at this coming down the way, folks. This pheasant here, it's quite tame. Coming down the path that I was away to walk up. Oh, let's let him go on his way. It looks like he doesn't have a tail. And sometimes that actually happens to pheasants when they have a fight. The loser of the fight actually ends up with no tail. I'm keeping totally still here, and look, it's coming closer and closer. This is the kind of adventures I promise you. I always tell you, folks. Not only the coolest of landscapes, but also the coolest of nature as well. I think I should speak to him. Hello, little man. Hello. Are you friendly? I'm BKR. Hello. Look at him, folks. He's so tame. This is incredible. Look at the colours on him as well. Hey. Oh, he's puffing himself up. Hello. See that? He's really happy. I'm actually speaking to him in his language, which is known as the pheasant language, folks. He was making a noise a bit like a chicken. He was going... Look at him, he's wanting to come in about to say hello. Look. See, when I put my hand around, you can see that I'm not actually harming him. I'm just speaking to him. It's mad. 1 minute ago I was speaking about the ticks, and then now here we are looking at this, and you just never know what's going to happen on this channel. But I think he maybe has been injured, like in a fight, because his tail is like completely gone. He's maybe been hit by a car even or something. Are you okay, buddy? He's maybe been hit by a car, I'm thinking, folks. I'm not sure if he's okay or not. He is acting strange. Obviously a lot of pheasants wouldn't just come in about like this. Look at him, he's so tame. You can speak loud if you want to, can't you? Yeah, you can make a louder noise than that. Anyway, folks, I'm going to have to bounce out of here. I could just sit and speak to this little guy all day. Oh, see the way he puffs up like that? I'm not sure if he thinks I'm like another pheasant or what the deal is like. Look at him. I wonder if he's going to attack me. Anyway, folks, I'm going to head around. He's such a cool little guy, isn't he? I keep thinking I'm going to head away, and then again, it's not every day this happens. Like, this little guy's just come down and chilled out. It's mad sometimes the amount of animal encounters I have. And sometimes I just go somewhere to hang out, and next thing it's like animals just come over out of nowhere. I don't know if the rainbow colour of his coat comes out on the camera. Obviously my shadow's at a poor angle here. It's a male pheasant, folks. There you go on the channel, a male pheasant. A close encounter with a male pheasant. Whoa, look at him. He just charged me. Here, I don't know if he's a way to try and actually attack me. I think he's a way to try and attack me, you know. You can actually scare them, because that's what they try and do. When he was puffing up his coat and I was saying, oh, he's cute. But they'll actually bite, and like I said, they try and bite the tails. If I'm waving my hand about, he'll try and bite my fingers. Anyway, I'm going to go back up to my car. I need to walk past him. He's obviously a fighter. That's the reason that we have... Look at him. Hey buddy, you're okay? You're okay? Keep calm. Oi! Get away. Get away. Here, how mad is that, folks? Look at him. He's trying to get the high ground. He's trying to get the high ground on me. He's not going to do it. I need to bail out. He was trying to get the high ground by running past me. Look how mad. Do you think it's the colour of my Scotland top? He thinks I'm literally like another pheasant. Hey, be friendly. You'll be famous the world over if you're a fighting pheasant. Look, he's puffing up. He's a fighting pheasant of Scotland, folks. That's the sort of dude you can bump into when you're here. He's protecting the history. He wasn't wanting me to leave. He's wanting somebody to hang out with, folks. That's what it is. He's the exploring pheasant. Hey, what's your name? What's your name? Look, he's puffing up. Sometimes they puff up like that to make themselves look big before they go in for the attack. They sometimes go. Anyway, folks, I'm going to bail out of here. I'm going to end this video here. It's crazy that I'm ending it here when I'm getting attacked by a pheasant, literally, but hopefully I can just jump into my car, drama free. And it was mad to see those ticks as well. We've seen so much in today's video and you just never know what's going to happen, and that's what I say about these adventures. It's like sometimes if you didn't plan it, you actually see the coolest things. And to see a pheasant like this, it's in nature here and you can see how they operate, how they behave, and how brave they are as well, going to a human like that. If you did that to the wrong person, they would damage you or shoot you if it's the gamekeeper, eh? Absolutely insane scenes in this wee boathouse. And also in this video we saw the abandoned road at the backwater dam, where the old main road had gone right down under the waters before the dam was built. They must have rerouted it, and that's another cool bit of the Scottish history. I need to have a quick check here that I've got no ticks like crawling up my legs or anything like that, because I definitely did see those ticks there, and there'll be millions, because there always is, folks. There always is. Anyway, I'm ending this one here. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you soon for the next adventure, wherever I end up going. You know how it is, folks. On this channel you see Scotland like never before. Anyway, catch you soon.